So we have a few minutes for questions. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you guys to ask Debbie, Deborah, whoever you'd like to speak to.
All three of us, like I said,
here.
very good therapists.
And we have a microphone in the audience. Does anyone have a question? Here we go. Here's our singer. Stand up, please.
Oh, hi. You also mentioned, like earlier, you were between Michael Jackson and a lot of other artists, but did you ever get a chance to meet him?
To meet Michael Jackson? Yes, I did. Yeah, I met him a couple of times. I have this amazing photo of us in my home where I met him backstage in LA before his concert. And he said, "Oh, I just saw your concert on the Disney Channel. I watched it and it was so good." And I was like, Michael Jackson was sitting home watching me on television? This is crazy. So yeah, he was a
What do you think of him as a person?
the word I was going to use was lovely. Such a lovely person. Just
amazing.
Yeah, just a magical person.
Yeah, and it's your songs that got you to that moment where, you know, an icon, an idol of yours is now telling you how much he enjoyed watching your performance.
Right, crazy.
Question? Other question? In the front, over here. Wait for the microphone. Here you go.
If you could write for any artist now, who would you like to write for? If you could like submit a song to someone to sing.
Oh my gosh, that is such a good question. I'm like going through the Rolodex of my my iTunes mixes and my. You know, it's interesting. One artist that just came to mind was Carrie Underwood, just because I feel like, you know, again, someone who's got a little theatrical and super melodic, but then there's like a rawness there too. I have a song, "Love is hard, hard on me, not what I want, but what I need. God, it cuts, will it bleed? Can I take this love so hard on me?" And I always feel that song. I hear different artists and think, but I think Tina Turner, at this point in her life, could cut that song and have a hit. That would be a dream of mine, because she's always been such a huge inspiration of someone who had an act two at pretty much the age I am now. But that song, it could be her and it could be someone else, but I want to hear that song paired with the right artist. You know, there are artists like the Chainsmokers that I hear and I go, I would love to collaborate. I listen to just tons of current music. And like I said, I'm not one of these people that goes, because you know, people come up and they mean it as a compliment and they go, well, back when music was good. And I go, I'm in awe of music right now. I mean, I think that there's just such amazing artistry out there. Kelly Clarkson would be amazing. She's here on the label.
She is.
But, you know, to have a great... Because I was never that kind of vocalist. So I think that's why those vocalists are coming to mind. I was always more of, in my mind, of a singer-songwriter vocalist, not a diva, you know, Aretha Franklin influenced vocalist. So to be able to write with that kind of range for somebody else would be really fun.
Another
Great
question? In the front.
Hello.
Hi.
Again.
How are you?
I'm good. Do you see a Vegas show in your future since you live out there now?
That's such a good question. Yeah, you know, there have been a lot of interest in me doing that, and again, with my health as it was, I put in the past, I didn't feel ready for that burst of energy at that moment. But yeah, I do see that happening for sure. I remember when my dad came to me. I love this. When Vegas was still, it wasn't the Vegas we know now. It still was a little bit like, if you're a has-been, you go to Vegas and you have a hit show. You know, it was like that moment before Celine. And I remember my dad saying, you need to play Vegas. You know, you have everyone come to you. And I go, Dad, seriously, you're putting me out to pasture in Vegas? You know, it's like, he was so ahead of his time on that one, you know. But I did the Rrhs run, you know, some years back. And so doing that one-woman show. But, you know, I saw Garth at the Wynn. I think it would be really fun to do that with a piano. When I saw Garth at the Wynn, it was just him and a guitar. Mm-hmm. So you know, look, we've got J-Lo and we've got Gwen Stefani, and I can do all the bells and whistles, and maybe I will, but I think it'd be kind of cool to do something different, do Vegas in a different way, and do that in the moment storyteller. You're never getting the same show twice thing. That'd be exciting.
All right, book your tickets now.
Thank you.
How about one or two more questions as we wrap up over here?
Hi, Debbie. I love your music.
Thank
I
you.
love how creative you are and still writing the songs that you do.
Thank
creating
you.
music. I oftentimes imagine you, I love your voice, and I imagine you singing all types of songs, like covering other artists. And I was just wondering what songs you also enjoy singing that are not your own.
Oh, that's such a good question. You know, when I sit at the piano, I do everything from, like, you guys all saw my acoustic of Ibiza, right? I'll have to send that to you. Took a pill in Ibiza. And I came up with this piano riff that I forget is not actually a part of that song. And I go, oh, wait, I can use this and write something to it. But so I'll sit and a lot of times I'll take very current songs and do an acoustic. And
put yourself into it.
Yes.
That
and,
song,
and remind yourself what a great melody
right.
that song has.
That song is an incredible song.
I don't know if he knows what he wrote. Like, again, and for someone who's an entertainer, kind of that really like melancholy depiction of life on the road or as a celebrity, all those things he tapped into, or just anybody who feels maybe separate from society or whatever, it's a brilliant song. But then I sit around singing like You Needed Me and The Rose and all those amazing 70s songs that lend themselves to the piano.
The amazing thing, we're talking about, kind of why are some songs big hit songs and why are some songs successful and others aren't, the one-hit wonder, the no-hit wonder. There's always just like this quirk of fate that is why a song would become a hit. That song, Ibiza, that Mike Posner song, if you heard the original version of that?
I did, and so, see, I didn't realize it was originally an acoustic. I discovered it like everyone as a dance song and thought that I was quite brilliant for turning it into an acoustic. And like, wow, this song really works stripped down. And then I found that hidden verse that, right. And so, yeah, and then I went, oh, duh, he did it this way originally.
But the version that he did it in originally would never have been a hit. It was
right.
too depressing.
Right.
It was too dour,
right.
And the genius of sometimes there was a remixer who was able to bring the right levity to the despair in the lyric, and I think that's what made it was nominated for Song of the Year at the Grammys.
Yeah, I agree. And because then I think I often think of that about that with songwriting. It's like you want to get a point across, you want to get a message across, but you want to sneak it out to people sometimes and put it right in a context that's palatable and familiar, so they're like, oh, and then before you know, that lyric is creeping up and sneaking up on them and moving them. Totally.
We have time for one more question to wrap it up.
What about someone from Atlantic? Oh, yeah.
In the back.
In the back.
Question as to the songwriter. What's the most favorite part in songs that you like to write? Chorus, verse, or hook?
Oh, that's such a great question. I'm a bridge girl. You've heard of the bridge and tunnel crowd? I'm just of the bridge crowd. Because the bridge is the moment where you do anything. You're not in the structure anymore. You're not repeating a melody. You can go anywhere and you kind of do that suspenseful moment and then, resolve it. So I love me a good bridge. That's a great question.
There you go. So thank you so much for coming in and doing this.
Thank you.
So much good luck with your friends at Hallmark September 8th for Wedding of Dreams. Everyone get ready to watch. Any final words of wisdom, advice to our Atlantic crew, our Warner Music crew, the Deb Heads?
Oh, my goodness. Well, the Deb Heads, you know how I feel. Thank you. I always say thank you for sticking with me all these years. It's amazing. What I love is that I don't have, a fickle group of supporters. I have supporters that are there for me, whether, they're loving the music this year or not. I sound like crap at one concert, or I don't, or they're in for the long haul.
Amazing.
Which is amazing. They're family. It's amazing. And for everyone at Atlantic, as spoken from an artist, I could not have reached the masses without people like you doing what you do. So thank you for your love of music and your love of artists. And always let it begin and end with that, because that's really what it's about. Like Pete said, it's about moving people through music beyond anything else. So I think if everything you do, whether, whatever you're doing in the art department, in radio promo, if it's all about I want people to hear this song, I think you can't go wrong.
100%. Thank you so much, Debbie Gibson.
Thank you.